This is Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for April 7th, 2025. The Cambodia Securities Exchange Index was down 2.08 points or 0.51% to 404.65. Total trade volume was up with 85,275 shares changing hands at a total value of 433 million real or over $107,500. On the main board, 3 stocks were up. Leading the market was Grand Twins International, up 0.63% or 40 real to 6,440 real per share, followed by Akleda Bank, up 0.57% or 40 real to 7,040 real per share. MJQ Education was also up 10 real to 2,110 real per share. On the downside, 5 stocks were down. The biggest loser of the day was Pestec Cambodia, which dropped 1.54% or 40 real to 2,560 real per share, followed by Sihanoukville Autonomous Port, down 1.36% or 160 real to 11,640 real per share. Other stocks also down were Phnom Penh Water Supply Authority, Royal Group Phnom Penh SCZ, and CAM GSM. Meanwhile, Phnom Penh Autonomous Port remained flat. Over on the growth board, DBD Engineering was down 0.48% or 10 real to 2,090 real per share, while JS Land remained flat at 3,090 real per share. Akleda Bank recorded the highest trade volume of the day with 36,027 shares changing hands at a total value of 252 million real or over $62,600, about 42% of Monday's trade volume. CAM GSM recorded the second highest trade volume of the day with 18,783 shares changing hands at a total value of 45 million real or over $11,000, approximately 22% of April 7th's trade volume. Moving on to the exchange rate, the Khmer Real to USD was stable at 4,002 real per US dollar, while the US dollar index was slightly up to 102.90. Looking at global commodities, oil prices extended losses on Monday, falling nearly 4% as escalating trade tensions between the United States and China stoked fears of a recession that would reduce demand for crude, while OPEC Plus readies a supply increase. The Brent and West Texas Intermediate crude benchmarks both dropped to their lowest since April 2021. Brent futures lost $2.43 or 3.7% to $63.15 a barrel, and U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were down $2.42 or 3.9% at $59.57. Oil had plunged by 7% on Friday as China ramped up its reciprocal tariffs on U.S. goods. Last week, Brent and West Texas Intermediate lost 10.9% and 10.6% respectively. Gold prices held steady on Monday, bolstered by strong central bank demand and the potential for an early U.S. Federal Reserve rate cut, but gains were capped as some investors sold bullion to cover losses in other trades. Spot gold edged down by 0.2% to $3,029.04 an ounce after hitting a session low of $2,971.09 earlier in the session. U.S. gold futures rose 0.4% to $3,046.20. U.S. stock futures were pummeled once again on Monday as the White House remained defiant after President Donald Trump's rollout of shockingly high tariff rates on most key U.S. trading partners has sparked a historic 3-day market meltdown. As of the time of the Cambodian market's closing, S&P 500 futures shed 3.8%, with the benchmark poised to enter bear market territory, a drop of 20% or more from its recent peak when official trading begins. It closed Friday down 17.4% from its closing record, touched in February. Dow Jones Industrial Average futures fell 1,376 points or 3.6%, and Nasdaq 100 futures lost 4.1% as investors continued to shed their one-time tech winners to raise cash. This was Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for April 7th.